Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. In this video, I want to kind of address some comments and then kind of talk about the direction of the channel. These are just thoughts. Nothing is decided completely. So let's just kind of chat about it. So obviously after my last Franken planning video, and I completely understand, some gals were really frustrated with me uncoiling and punching a disc punch on coil planners. And I totally get that because it's like destroying or ruining the planner. It's pretty serious, right? And I went for months without doing it because I didn't really want to ruin like the integrity of the original planner. But then when it was like getting to a point where it was really bothering me, and let's go back for a second. If you have been a disc system gal and you loved it, it is super hard for us disc gals to just go to a coil. We are so used to like easily customizing our planners, popping anything in by punching it, taking anything out when we're done with it, that it's incredibly difficult to just now be in a coil. Now you can Franken plan coils and O-rings, you can, and I did that for a while. It's not the same freedom as a disc system. A disc system is like even easier than rings, although the rings have the really pretty covers. And I did think about rings, so you have to open and move pages around, and then if you put it in the wrong spot, you know, open it again. That's not a big deal. That's still very customizable. But the disc system is just my favorite. It's just my favorite. Right before I switched to Laurel Denise in July, I only did it because I saw that some gals had Franken planned Laurel Denise by clipping out the pages and using inserts and things like that. I was working on a video why I'll never leave a disc system, but then I thought like maybe I'm being closed-minded. Let's try the coil or the O-ring, whatever it is called. And so I did. But I do think I'm right about my personal use of an O-ring or a coil, because for one, I don't want like 5 planners stacked on my desk, and I am somebody who uses several planners. I do think it's a lot because I have this channel, but it's also a lot. I like compartmentalizing parts of my life. I have my list where I kind of have everything on it. I like that too. I like a quick overview here on my time blocking, but then I like cleaning section, and I'm only focused on cleaning in here. And then over here I have a work section. I'm only focused on work. I have a journal section, etc. So I really do like having separate planners for my thoughts. To be honest, my favorite planner that I've ever used layout wise is Laurel Denise. And it doesn't matter if it's her vertical or her horizontal. I would say my all-time favorite is her horizontal, the Nancy. But the vertical I love too. And the whole reason is because the entire time you can see the monthly and you don't have to flip back. So if you write something on the monthly, you forget to flip back, which is the problem we all have, right, gals? I know I've heard so many gals say this. They don't flip back to the monthly and they forget to add something to their weekly. I've missed birthdays that way. I've missed like really, I mean, I know it's me too, just being kind of quirky, but I've missed things that way. So even though this has its own monthly here, we'll talk about this in a minute just in case you haven't seen my previous videos, especially the one that was getting some frustration. But having the monthly here the whole time, if anything changes, like my husband's travel plans for work, they change so much. It's right here and I don't have to like, you know, flip back and go back. I can see it all the time and I can make a quick note as soon as I know while I'm planning. And I plan in this every night. The layout, being able to see the monthly all month, and then even being able to see some of your goals and your to-dos this month, all month, is really refreshing, and it works for my brain. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that is why I wanted to say with Laurel Denise, I did add some supplemental planners for this month and then for 2026, because I know that this works so well that it's okay to have a couple other things in here as long as I have my base, which is the Laurel Denise where you can see everything. And that's kind of been like what I've noticed throughout the year. I did a 2-page daily for a while. I liked it because I could see everything that I had to do for the day. But the 2-page daily was just too much space, and I had to keep rewriting things that I didn't get done instead of like just like drawing an arrow. Like here, I will just be able to not, let's see here, the checklist here, if I don't get something done, it's just not checked. and I can come back and do it, you know, anytime in the week. I don't have to keep moving it. I can see that it's not checked. And then when I had my list here, it was the same thing. When I used Anna as a list instead of a time blocking, which I really do like it as a list planner, I could draw an arrow, or I could just see that it wasn't checked off in my planner all at once. That's different from a daily or a 2-page daily, where you just have to rewrite it because you can't see, or you can try to go back, but you probably won't flip back. You'll probably just do whatever's there that day. And then this task over here may never get done. Or like I said, just keep repeating on to the next day. So 2-page daily, I like seeing everything all at once. And I knew that. So when I saw this layout, and I really now can see everything all at once, my full weekly and anything that's on the month. Like I can see here, okay, Veterans Day is on the 11th. We're not gonna do anything, but let's say we were. I could start planning, you know, in my weekly because I can see it right there all times. And yes, you can flip back, so I know. I have seen so many gals here on YouTube that just don't use their monthly. They decorate it, they might put 1 or 2 things in it when they decorate it, and then that's the last time they really look at it. And that's just realistic. There is nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things we just don't flip back. So having the monthly here, I really, really love. So Laurel Denise planners were gonna be it, okay? I was making them work on the coil for a long time, and I went on to, you're gonna hear my husband as often, and actually my kids right now, because they're playing a game together, so they get like rowdy when they're all together on the game. So you might hear a version of all of them in the background. So anyway, Laurel Denise, I was Franken planning in it. You guys can check those videos all the way. I think I started late July Franken planning in it. August and September were Franken planned, and then October, halfway through October, or actually towards the end of October, I put them on discs. My Laurel Denise planners on discs. So I know it looks destroyed. These little holes here don't bother me, but I know they could really bother a lot of people. I could cover them up with washi and punch them. And it's the same with the pages. I could have done that. To me, this doesn't bother me enough to make the effort to do all that extra work, but I do want it on discs. And again, these are actually very practical planners, and the pages, I don't even keep. It's just my plans, you know? Like, I keep them for like a month or 2. I mean, I might even keep them for the year. We'll see, because I haven't thrown any out yet from July, but all my previous months for this year, before I started using Laurel Denise, are already gone. I just don't keep my planner pages. Point being, I don't need to make them perfect, but if that bothered me all the time, I could. There's things I could do for it, but I want it to be quick and practical, having so many planners. So yes, I know these don't look great. I know in a way they are destroyed from their original use, but I will not use a planner like this on a coil. I did, but I just know I'm not gonna stick to it. I'm not gonna stick to a coil. I am a disc gal. I have always been a disc gal. I tried a couple times now to do a coil, and I just go back to disc. And even, this is a sad one. These are sad to see these planners taken apart, but I try to decide, like, what is more sad, right? What is more sad, having them taken apart or never using them? This is a beautiful planner. It's gorgeous. The coil is sturdy. The cover is beautiful. I will never use it like this. I will not use it like this. Now for this planner, the Passionate Penny Pincher planner, which is the home planner, she offers the printable version. It comes free when you buy a planner, so that's pretty amazing. And you can print it out on an 8.5 by 11. You could also, and you can even print out the dividers. Okay, so you can print everything out, and you might be able to try to resize them, right, to the size that you want. I don't have a color printer. I have not found a paper that I like on Amazon. I've tried several papers, and I just wanted to have this to use, and then I do, you know, cut it out and punch it into my disc planner. So yes, it is destroyed from this coil, but to me it would be worse just not using it and just having it like in a pile somewhere or letting it go to waste. But that's just me. I know some of you guys might think it's better to just have it beautiful and like this than to, you know, ruin it and destroy it by punching it. So I totally understand that. But now that I have figured this out, I am going to continue to do this. So it's working for me. And yes, I know it's only been a couple weeks, but it's working for me. The Laurel Denise layout, since I first started using it, I've not left it. I tried to leave it. I have not been able to leave it because seeing the monthly just is so soothing for my brain. I can see whatever holidays are coming up. I can see whatever trips are coming up at all times. You know, like, oh, when is my husband? Oh, okay, he's, you know, it's just so soothing for my brain. So I do love that. And like I said, because I'm so comfortable with the Laurel Denise now, I grabbed this supplemental. This is a Passionate Penny Pincher. You probably recognize it. Penny Pincher planner. This is just November here. I put the cover on because I thought it was pretty and I wanted to use it. I know it looks kind of bad with the holes, but I still get, like, how pretty is that when you open it up and you're like, that's so pretty. So I have the cover in there and I'm going to use the cover all year. Probably will switch between the green. And I did uncoil this entire planner, and I have the pages in a box to protect, and I'm going to punch them in every month. So right now I have November on here, and then I have December back here. I also put the cover in to protect it because it's kind of hanging off the top here. I also have December in here. It's actually not December. It's June of 2026, but it has the same days as December. The monthly is, you know, still is December. I just have to add a 31, which actually we'll do right now. So we need a 31. But that's it. That's all we have to do. Oh, I already added a 31. So that's all I have to do. The one thing I do want to mention about this, I did mention this in my previous video, is when you do something like this, I can see how it does cut into the actual planner a little, so that can look ruined or destroyed. But honestly, it's going to be practical for me, so I don't see it as destroyed, but I completely understand and sympathize with you girls that see it as destroyed, because yeah, it did feel like destroying it when I was setting it up. But now that I have it here, I'm just happy how it's like all together and it's cute and it's working. It's only been 2 days, but I really like it. Regardless, if anything was gonna leave, it would be this Passionate Penny Pincher planner, and not the Laurel Denise, because I could always default back to like a list planner. However, I really do like this. This checklist is a lot of little things to get done. And then you have cleaning things for the day as well. So we'll see what happens. The good thing about it is it's here for the whole week. So let's say you didn't get something done, you can come back on a day where like there's only like this Thursday is only change bedroom sheets. Maybe you can do a couple other things that you didn't get done on Thursday, or you can just totally forget it. And the other thing I wanted to mention about this planner, which I didn't mention in any of the previous videos, is when you read her little introduction, she is basically says this is a guideline. Maybe I'll read it to you guys. She says it very nicely, so that basically, you know, it's meant to like help you. So let's see, what do we have here? Okay, use these as general guidelines only and feel free to change them as needed so they work best for you and your family. And then she has some other things here, which is, she has like a lot of nice things in here. Some suggestions, like some support. So I really love planners that take a little extra effort to do this at the front. It's just thoughtful, right? They're thinking about us gals. So I like that. Now, I'm sure the creator of this planner, if she saw me uncoil it and cut it and pop it onto discs, would not, you know, love this video. As I'm sure Laurel Denise would not love this video where I'm putting this on discs as well. So I do know that. I recognize that. For Laurel Denise, I know some gals have been asking if she could make a disc system, and I don't think they're really interested in doing that, or make a printable version where we can print them out ourselves and punch them onto discs. And I don't really think they're interested in doing that, and that's okay. I know, like, they have a really beautiful planner as is, so I don't know. This, I've already said, this is kind of like blasphemy to this planner to put it like this. But I know gals have been doing, they've done Erin Condren on discs. They've done plum paper before they did a disc system. They put those on discs. Anything that comes on a spiral or a coil, gals have put on discs because we love our discs. If you're a disc gal, you know we love our discs. We want our discs. We want the freedom of the discs. And they're, you know, customizable and pretty colors and like all that stuff. So I love a disc system. I love Laurel Denise planners. I have meshed them. Not the best idea. And for the Passionate Penny Pincher planner, as I said, she has printables. you could resize, and I could do that. I don't have a color printer, so I wouldn't do that because I like the color. If I didn't mind the color, I showed you guys this in a different video if you saw that. This is the 8.5 by 11 printed out. I only have a black and white printer, so that's what it looks like. That to me is like, blah. It's just like, I want my color. I could color it in, you know, but why? When there is one that's like so cute already. The point is, she at least realizes that some gals may want to put it on discs and print it out and do their own format. I was talking about affiliates, and I have not been approved for an affiliate for a Passionate Penny Pincher planner. I don't know why, gals. I understand, it's fine. I still have to use it how I need to use it, even if it's not like a favorite, you know, look. It also could be just I don't have enough subscribers. That is honestly probably why, but who knows? Who knows? It doesn't matter. My point is I will use it like this. I won't use it on a coil. I like the color, and that's why I did this. If I had a color printer and I found paper that I liked, I could try to resize it to this size and then use my paper cutter, cut it out, all that stuff. That sounds like a lot of effort too, but this was effort anyway. But I like it. I like it like this. I think it's pretty at this little tab. I didn't even change the August to November. So if you hadn't seen my previous video, this is a 2026 planner. You can see it says there. I took August, which is the same dates in November. I didn't change the tab because I just thought the tab was pretty. So I just changed November here. And then when I come to August, I will use my, my kind of boring one over here. I'll use this. The colors are pretty, right? The granite's pretty, but this month will be very bland. So I'll have to just really pop it up with stickers this month when I come to use this one. All right. That's kind of the idea for my 2026 planner lineup, which will be coming out probably, well, it'll be coming out soon. I don't know when exactly, within the next 2 weeks. I do have also added some happy planners as this type of supplement, because as long as I have my Laurel Denise, I call this the wrapping around whatever other planner is in here, then I know I have my base that I really, really need, and anything in here can just be, I mean, like extra fun. And if it seems like too much eventually, I'll just pull this back out and use my base Laurel Denise, but it's like wrapped right now. I call it a Laurel Denise wrap. And so these are kind of like inserts, and Laurel Denise does have a lot of inserts. If you just want to stay like uniform with Laurel Denise, that can be an option. You can just grab some of her inserts. On this side, I also did a right side monthly from an old monthly, not from an insert. And I just decorated it and like whited it out because this is upside down. I flipped it upside down, you know. And, you know, today we're on the 3rd here. So, I don't know. I know I have gone through a lot of planners, and I'm not the only one. I just think maybe the most extreme way that I'm using them maybe is what has caught people's attention. I'm certainly not the only one who switches planners often. I know it can be frustrating to watch a planner switch their planners. But I might tweak this a little, but pretty much, I mean, we'll see, right? Pretty much this is gonna be very similar to the same. If anything changes, like I said, the Passionate Penny Pincher might come out. And I don't know, I still like my timeline here, so then I would need to do like another list inserts. And maybe even a Happy Planner Classic vertical, which I don't really like. Or horizontal, or something. But I really like this one, so I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, we're only 2 days in. All right, so I just wanted to kind of like address, I know in a lot of gals' eyes, like even kind of in my eyes, I have destroyed these planners. The reason I did it, because it's the only way I'm gonna use them. I'm just not gonna use them on a spiral. I like everything together. I like a big old fat chunky planner where my whole life essentially is in here. That's what I like. I don't like running around and trying to find a different planner or a stack of planners. I like one book. I always have. I've tried to make other things work. So one book is definitely the way to go. The Laurel Denise, my favorite that I've ever tried planners. Big or mini would be fine. And we're gonna set up a mini in the next video and kind of see how it could work. I lean towards big, but I do think it'd be kind of fun to have like a little cute chunky mini. It's just gonna need a little work. It doesn't go on the discs as easily. So I don't know, gals. This is this is basically what we have right now. Okay, so I had a little bit of a family interruption, so I'm not sure what we were talking about, but the basic gist of why I set up this planner like this, because I could have used Happy Planner. I've tried Happy Planner. I have not tried Plum Paper or some of the other disc planners. They look pretty much the same as Happy Planner to me, so it's kind of like if I've tried Happy Planner, I've kind of tried a lot of those planners. Just maybe slight differences in fonts and coloring and stuff like that. None of those planners have really like stuck on their own, like stuck out to me as a great planner that I wanted to just keep using. So the Laurel Denise being that planner that I want to keep using, that I really, really love. Like I open it and I'm just like, ah, oh, here is my month, here is my week, here are my goals. And then in here, I can fun little flip into my cleaning. And if this, like I said, if this bothers me, it can always come out. So Laurel Denise has been the only planner where I'm just like, yes, I get it. It gets me. But what I didn't get and what didn't get me was the coil. So now I'm on discs. I'm a disc gal through and through. I love them. I love the discs. In fact, when I was setting up my November video, I pulled out all my October pages, just pulled them right out. I could have clipped them out of a coil. And I was doing that for a while, like I said. So I guess like the basic part that I want to convey is that once I realized I'm not a spiral or coil planner gal, things clicked, and I do feel like there's more possibility now. And I'm not saying this is gonna be the final planner ever. I kind of think it will be, but you know, that's naive to just say like I will never change my planner again. But I really do like how this is working. Yeah. So 2026 lineup is similar with some more like of these cute little supplements in the middle. And I might get sick of the supplements and pull them out, but it's like a lot of fun to have everything together. It's just fun. And this little Passionate Penny Pincher was cute to decorate this week. So I was trying to see how it would be. It's my first week decorating it, but I thought in the monthly too, I had fun. So I think it just gives like a lot more room to decorate than these little guys here, which you could put a couple stickers. So I think it's giving me the best of both worlds. But I guess we'll see. Yes, it does look crazy, and I'm totally fine admitting that I'm crazy. There's one more aspect I want to talk about on my channel, and I've not talked about this on my channel, is ASMR aspect of the channel. And that, if you guys don't know what it is, I'm just gonna overly simplify it, but it's basically like noises in the background that you might have on that are soothing. Like when you were younger and you were doing your homework and your mom was in the kitchen like moving pots around or doing the dishes and you hear the clinking and stuff like that. It's like noises, you know, that are soothing. And our brains recognize them as soothing even, you know, sometimes when we think like this might be irritating. So ASMR is a huge part of some gals watch planning videos. And it's like noises like taking out the bookmark, when you're unboxing, having the noise of the unboxing, having the paper crinkle, stuff like that. That's an aspect of my channel that I had a comment on very early when I started back a year ago, and I really appreciated the comment. She was talking about not doing voiceovers because, you know, she likes the noise of the planning videos. I know that I have some ASMR gals that are subscribed. So part of this process, the reason I do it all on camera, because what I could have done is just shown you, this is what I did. I liked it, or I could have just not even shown you and just shown you like the coil and decorated the coil. But part of the process of like getting these pages on and cutting the pages and like everything is ASMR part. So I do want to acknowledge that part of the channel while being honest and yes, slightly crazy about planners. Really trying to figure out what I like. And it doesn't have to be what anybody else likes. That's kind of life. It's totally fine if you gals see this and even comment, because like I said, some gals deleted their comments. You can comment and say that's crazy. I would never do that. That's totally okay. You can have your opinions on it, but just know that if it's gonna work for me, I'm still gonna use it. So my journaling planner will have a little sneak peek, but my journaling's in there. guess I don't really know how I wanted to end this video, but those are the reasons why I'm planning like this. I guess basically I'm just going over the reasons why I'm planning like this. Laurel Denise planners, love the layout, works the best for my brain than any other planner I've had. Disc planning, my favorite. It gives me the most versatility. It's soothing to be able to take out pages, like not be committed. Like this page was a question for what planner for 2026. This is in that video. I'm done with it now. I can take it out and it's just gone. I don't need it anymore. So that can actually go in the trash because I already worked all that out. If it's foil and I already clipped it, I could have done the same thing. You can still do that with some planners, but Franken planning in a disc is my favorite. I do know gals, I've seen videos, I'm sure you guys have too, Franken planning on the coil, and they have to like uncoil, reorder their pages, recoil it, and then, oh darn it, I got it wrong, uncoil. Or now they have to figure out what to do, which you can like glue pages on, maybe tape pages in. There's ways to figure out how to put pages in once you've coiled it, but I'm telling you, the discs, they are my favorite. I was calling Happy Planner for a little bit Dollar Tree because I know it kind of seems like not as luxurious of a planner, even with like, I mean, look at these discs. Is that not luxurious? I think it is. But disc planning is not considered like the higher end of the planning world, but I really do like it anyway. Maybe I'm a Dollar Tree planner kind of gal. Obviously not, because I like Laurel Denise planners. Okay, well, I just wanted to get on here real quickly and talk about that because the aspects of having a planner channel is you're gonna have several planners that you may not have if you didn't have a planner channel. The aspects are you're gonna try several planners to see how they're gonna work for you. And then you're always exposed, like you gals, I mean, that are not on the planner channel are like just inundated with planner choices. I know because like I get in that cycle too where I'm just watching planner videos and like, oh, maybe that planner would work, maybe that planner would work. And there is something to say about being able to make a lot of planners work for you, like just buckling down and making them work. So I know that that can happen. That is a possibility. But having planner channels, I mean, we should be sharing some planner choices with you. We want to share what is working for us, especially if we're really liking it. And when something's not working for us, we want to be honest about that and share that as well. It doesn't usually lead people to this setup, but it did lead me to this setup. And between that, sharing content, sharing planners that I like, figuring out how they're gonna work best for me, adding some ASMR, which again, which is why I film the parts of adding everything together, instead of just showing you what I did, is the ASMR part. And all of that goes into this thought process of planning channel. As crazy as I seem, there's kind of a method behind it. Maybe not one that a lot of gals agree with, but there is a method behind it. So that's what I'm thinking. I'll just say this at the end. If I didn't have this Laurel Denise base, and we're gonna talk about it in a minute, next video anyway, and whenever that will be out, probably soon after this one. If I didn't have the base of the Laurel Denise, I would really be lost all over again. And I wouldn't even be thinking about these supplemental planners. But because I have my base that helps me see everything and like is just like calming to my brain when I see this, then I've taken the liberty of some supplements. Only one in here in this November, December. I'm thinking about adding another one, but we'll see how it goes because I don't want to get myself too busy while I'm supposed to be moving, just distracting myself from moving. So that is all I wanted to talk about today. I totally appreciate honest comments. I know you guys feel frustrated watching this. And just to be frank, I wouldn't use these planners and I would be like totally in planner annoyance land again if I didn't set it up like this. So of all the planners I've tried, I'm a Laurel Denise gal, but I'm also a disc gal. And then supplements are fun, but they're not needed. The things that I need to organize my life, and I'm saying need, I know that's such a word, but the things that I guess I feel like I need, that have helped me stay the most organized are Laurel Denise and disc. I've combined them. It's not gorgeous. It's not necessarily pretty, but I have confidence it will work for me. But we'll see. Anything can change, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna talk about now is we're just gonna quickly talk about setting up the mini Laurel Denise. I thought it would be super fun now that I write smaller, because for a while I was just really resisting writing smaller. I thought it'd be fun to set up the Laurel Denise into a mini chunky disc planner system with these discs, which I think are so pretty with the green. I might add something else to the green because it's kind of plain and I don't like it as plain. And I was just checking on how I'm gonna have to line up the discs and what, basically if you're ever gonna do a mini onto discs, you have to make sure your disc punch area lines up with one of the coils, or what you're gonna do is go in between and have a giant hole and it's not gonna hold onto the discs, which is what I already did on accident. So this video is going to be next. So if you're interested, and then these are, when my supplements in this guy will be these little 2020 happy planners. I don't have any other minis except 2020. No minis except 2020. I do have 2020s. I do want to use them even though I do not like redating. If I'm making myself use them, I'm gonna have to make myself redate. So that's kind of how it is. So we're gonna set it up and see how it looks. And I think it's gonna be super cute, chunky with multi Frankenplanning on these discs. So stay tuned for that video, but do know if you don't like seeing planners, you know, chopped up and destroyed, you may not want to watch that video. You might want to skip that video because more is coming. We're trying it out. I'm interested in the minis. If you haven't seen Laurel Denise minis, oh my goodness, they're so cute. I practiced writing in that monthly. It's so small. We'll show you compared to the normal. It's so small, but gals, I could fit the things that I wrote in here. And there are a couple gals who've done videos on that. Let's get a blank one. There are a couple gals who have done videos seeing if whatever they put in their large Laurel Denise planner fit in their small, the mini, and they were able to fit it. And so look how tiny it is. It's so tiny. I'm gonna try it. I tried fitting things in there. I went down to a 0.5 pen, which that just means a smaller tip, and it fit. So I do think it could work. I don't know. I really love my big. So we'll see. We're gonna try it. We're gonna set it up and see. And then if it's not used, you know, it's okay. Set up for fun. For fun and for content. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I just want to talk about that real quickly, but let's turn off the camera and then let's get started setting up our mini Frankenplanner, just in case we use it for January, February, and March. Okay, so I have the camera back on and I thought I would this kind of turned into a planner chat. And I was editing the video and I was realizing I didn't really explain like what in the world I'm talking about. A little I did. I think I wanted to be kind of vague, but I mean, it's not important to be vague. The reason I made that video in the first place at all was because of some, we'll say unfavorable comments, which we all get, right? All channels get unfavorable comments, people's opinion that don't agree with you, which is fine. You know, the comments were essentially, there were some of the deleted ones, I don't exactly remember what was said. I was able to answer one before it was deleted, but you know, I guess maybe they thought about it differently, or maybe they just didn't want to have that like kind of left as a comment, which, you know, was thoughtful to, I guess, delete it. Even though, you know, sometimes YouTube gives you those like views first off, so YouTube will show you first and then, you know, if they delete it you still have already seen it, kind of thing. But anyway, that is what this video is about. Comments made that I had destroyed planners, I didn't know what I was doing, and even a comment about it looking like stickers threw up on my page, which that was actually in a video brought to my attention. You know, I say that myself, so it's okay. If you see my spreads and think stickers threw up on my page, and especially like last month, and I said this myself, it's right here, last month, a ton of stickers on this page. My decorative style may not be your decorative style. That's fine. And I don't really have rhyme and reason a lot of the times when I decorate. So yeah, that's fine. You think it looks like stickers threw up on my page, that's fine. Those kind of comments, you know, they do kind of get to you, but then again, it's just like, I know that I'm not like incredibly experienced. at having a planner channel, and so we'll talk about that. I did start my planner channel in 2020 and had like quite a few videos. I just like hit the ground running, a lot of happy planner, and then we had moved to 2 different houses since then, and so everything was in storage. The planner channel just completely stopped. And when I got back, I've only been doing this, like what I would say, like actually doing it where I'm really thinking about things through, for a year. And that seems like a long time, but it's not really that long of a time. I'm certainly not an expert. I don't ever claim to be an expert. My spreads, my pages, my setup, it's not expert. And it's also not like, you know, following the line of what most people do. And I think that's why it's just kind of grates on people like sandpaper. So I do get that. I don't know, when I wasn't doing planning videos because all my planner stuff was in storage, I was doing these crafting videos from Dollar Tree, and if you guys have ever watched Dollar Tree crafting videos, they will completely rip apart like a little sign that Dollar Tree had, take off the border, take off the bows, like paint over it. Like that's what I did for a couple years. And so it kind of got me thinking outside the box. So now I do think outside the box. So if something's not quite right, I tweak it. I'm trying to make it work for me, and that's not everybody's cup of tea, and yeah, it can totally annoy you. That is fine. That is like real life, okay? So all that to say, I'm a year in of actually trying, and when I got back to planning in 2024, I had just been using a Happy Planner daily planner for like for the previous year and a half, like for 2022 and 2023, using daily planners where I just took like notes. It was a total mess. It wasn't organized at all. But when I got back in 2024, back in October, I wanted to get back into planning because I was able to get all my stickers out of storage, which was so fun. I thought, okay, I'll start up this channel again because it was really fun to have it. So that's what I did. I grabbed all my stickers, have purchased some new ones since then, and I jumped right back into my happy planners in the fall of 2024, last year. And I didn't really love the happy planners. Like, there was just something about them wasn't working. It was just like bugging me. So then I tried some other planners. So I'm a year in, and I have tried several planners in a year. I'm no expert. I will never say I'm an expert. I do not claim that. I don't think I'll ever be that. I'm a year in. I'm still trying to figure things out, what I like, what works, and I am stubborn. So, you know, at first I wouldn't even try a coil planner. So I never would have even tried Laurel Denise. I would have just stuck to discs. So I did that. I did try some Planner Envy. I looked at Plum Paper. I looked at Jane's Agenda. I looked at all the disc ones, Caliva Plan, all of the disc ones. They're all like kind of similar, right? Similar layouts and stuff. Nothing like really stuck out as completely different. Planner Envy actually is quite a bit different. I have some videos up of that. It is unique and I do like it. One thing that is frustrating about disc companies, and I'm sure they do this just to have like proprietary planners, is when they don't make them like pop on to Happy Planner. Like they're trying to keep them their own, you know, set. Like this won't fit Happy Planner stuff. So that was kind of a thing. Tool planners, TUL, their big size fits big Happy Planner, but I think their middle size does not fit classic Happy Planner. So yeah, just companies do that. They're like, you have to have our covers and our stuff for our planners. That makes sense. And it's fine. So Planner Envy was like that. It wasn't compatible with either Happy Planner or big Happy Planner or classic Happy Planner. I'm sure they still aren't this year. They did 10 discs this year instead of 9 discs from last year. But they still have really great planners. My point is, you're not really going to be able to Frankenplan unless you punch some extra holes or it's going to look a little awkward or a little off. So if you want to combine like a Planner Envy with a Happy Planner, and so gals are just doing their Planner Envy on the side and doing their Happy Planner on the other side. And that works. So when you want something all in one, that's when you have to improvise. So I'm going off on a side note. My point is, I'm not an expert, and so I tried a ton of planners this year just to kind of see what was going to work. Some of them I felt like were great, but they still just didn't work for me. And it's like, there's a video on Amanda's Favorites where she's like, I think it's 10, maybe 10 planners that she wished she could make work for her because she loved them, but they just weren't quite working for her. And she was just talking about like how not feeling guilty if it doesn't work for you. Now I know that's a far cry from what I did, where I punched Laurel Denise onto discs, but the point is there that we all, in the planner world, we find planners. Maybe we see them on a channel. We think they look so great and we get them home and they're just not working for us. there is that, but there's also, obviously, we could force them to work for us. We all know that. We could force it. We could just be kind of miserable and be like, ugh, every time we open our planner. But we really are going to use a planner more if it's working for us. So that is a point to consider. Now, all that saying, okay, so yes, sometimes stickers look like they throw up on my page. Sometimes I am destroying planners. In this new planner setup, I've destroyed planners, but really I don't see it as destroying them. I do see it as kind of like defiling them a little, but I also see it as repurposing them for what I need. So this is repurposed. It wouldn't have been used otherwise, and now it's repurposed and it will be used in this section. And maybe it would have been used, but it would have been frustratingly used until I probably would have just eventually gone to another system, which is why I kept holding on to the Big Happy Planner system, because it's so customizable and I love my discs. So yeah, now this is working. What am I, did the 19th of October. Where is a calendar? Do I have that somewhere? No, look at the front here. So 19th of October, like 2.5 weeks. So that's not long that I've been using it like this, but I have been liking it. And I've liked it the best of anything so far. And I don't even have my days where I'm just like, just keep at it, just keep at it. It's just a day, or, you know, but of course it's still really early. It's still very early, so we will see. I have tweaked it a little and I have added a couple things, so we'll talk about that in a second. But my point is, yes, you may think I'm destroying planners. It might make you crazy. It might even peeve you off. I don't understand why, because, you know, you don't have to use the planner. I'm the one using it. But maybe it does. It's okay. You can make grumpy comments. You can say rude things. It's fine, because that's how you're feeling when you're watching my video. It's fine. I get it. So I don't know. I'm not really defending, because I am not an expert. But what I am saying is I don't have it figured out. And I do think sometimes when we think somebody has a YouTube channel, they should have everything figured out. It's just not like that. It's not realistic. We're still trying things and we're trying to figure things out. And there are gals that have been on YouTube a lot longer than me that still switch their planners up like constantly. And they just like it. Maybe it's like a hobby or a habit, or, you know, they like to go in and out of planners. And I mean, even for pity's sakes, Amanda's Favorites goes in and out of planners. We all know her. Hand Cane Plan, we all know her, goes in and out of planners. I think Planning with Bumble has been pretty consistent this year, but she's tried different planners, but not how I have. So I'm not saying I'm like any of those gals, because I know I have restructured beloved planners. So I do understand some of the frustration. So just know I am looking at it as repurposing them. And instead of, I talked about this already earlier, but instead of, you know, printing this out, cutting it with my paper cutter, finding the paper, punching it, I just bought the actual beautiful planner and punched it onto discs. So yeah, a little bit of, is definitely outside the box, but if it works for me, I don't care if people think I'm crazy. And if I like the stickers, I don't always love my stickers, but every time I open up the page, I'm like, oh, pretty stickers. So I'm not like, oh my goodness, it looks so bad. I mean, I just don't think about it that much. I think, okay, that's cute enough. It's, you know, it's fine. Could be better, could be worse, right? That's kind of how I plan. So if you're coming to my channel expecting like expert planning, decoration, and planning advice, I mean, you're really coming to the wrong channel. There are gals that are like that, and you can go to their channel and find beautifully decorated spreads every single time. Even professional gals, or gals who have been doing this for a really long time, they don't always like their spreads. It's just one of those things, you know? Sometimes we like them, sometimes we don't. So that happens to everybody. And yes, maybe I have more misses than hits, but you know, that's okay. That is a-okay. Like this one is especially not my favorite, but that's okay. We're gonna talk about that in a second, this planner. So anyway, I just wanted to address, yes, I just want to address frustrations. I understand and I hear your frustrations. And the thing is, I did mention already earlier, I could have just not shown anybody this, and this could have been my real planner, but just like not shown this and just, you know, kept decorating a happy planner and never filling it out, which by the way, oddly enough, I am going to do, but we'll talk about that in a second because this is a planner chat. So 2.5 weeks in, not a lot at all. I really do like how this is working. What I have added, we already talked about Passionate Penny Pincher Planner many times. I think this is the one that made people most upset, but I don't really know. to cut off the little holes here and punch it. I think it looks actually pretty sleek when it's cut off like that. I wanted to do that with the cover, but I didn't want it to start splitting. But if I did cut it, I think it would look pretty nice, right? But as is, I don't really notice that as much. I just open and see, oh, a pretty cover. So I don't know. I don't really want to try and have this cover ruined because the lamination will start peeling. And I think that's possible. So I'm going to leave it like that. But the pages, even though it cuts a little into the page, and I've shown this even in this video already, cuts a little into the page, I still think it looks pretty nice on the discs. So I'm overall really happy with it. So I'm just showing you, it's definitely outside the box. It's definitely breaking apart planners or, you know, destroying planners. But it's working for now. So when nothing is working and you've tried a lot of things, and you know, I know some gals have made comments like I haven't tried it long enough. I do know that. I kind of have a feel, I'm not saying I'm right for sure, but I kind of have a feel that I really don't like this. So I know like sometimes you are in it a couple weeks and then you're like, oh, okay, now I get it. I really got the flow of it. But I did give at least a small try to a lot of planners this year. And this is what I'm settling on. And it's kind of big and bulky and it's not very cute, but I kind of love it. All right, anyway, let's talk about things that I've changed. Well, I mean, this has been for a while, but I did change the pen pouch because the other one just kind of blended in a little too much and I wanted a little, you know, it kind of like coordinates with the purple, and that if you mix these two together, you would get this. So I kind of like that. And it has my, basically, I just have what, 3 pens in here right now and my whiteout, which I use a lot right now. Eventually I will put my highlighters in here when I get that far into the planning. So we're pretty early in November right now. I've shown this before, but just in case you haven't seen those videos, I did a sticker slit and I slid some stickers in here, have some back here. I will show my code for Laurel Denise, Timbre 10, and yes, everybody gets a code, I guess. There's nothing special about me. I never said I was special for having a code. What I said is I've only asked Laurel Denise for a code. I haven't asked anybody else, except now I have asked Passionate Penny Pincher Planner for a code. I don't know that I'm going to be getting a code from them, but that's fine. Point is, I have a Laurel Denise code. If you are inspired to buy Laurel Denise from my destroyed Laurel Denise planners, you can use this code and get 10% off your discount. Get 10% off of a discount. But there are plenty of planner gals on YouTube that have a code that don't dismantle their Laurel Denise planners and put it on discs. So you can use their codes as well. A lot of those gals use Scouts, and I think almost everybody got Scout or Rose this year. I didn't see a lot of Anns and Nancy's in the lineups. There's a couple more that I have to watch, but I like keep an eye on it every day because I'm like, what did people get from Laurel Denise? So if you want Nancy and Ann content, you kind of have to come here. When I'm doing my weekly content and my monthly content, I take the pages out. You barely notice, probably. That's what I'm guessing. I don't really know. So anyway, so I added the new pouch. I have my sticker stuff up here. Oh, I've explained this before, but just in case you haven't seen it, I did, this is a Laurel Denise box. I cut it to size of the cover. I saw another YouTuber make a cover out of a Laurel Denise box. I didn't come up with that idea, but I thought it was a fun idea, especially being from a past crafter. So I cut it out, I tried it. It's, you know, it's just cardboard. It's not as sturdy as a real cover probably should be unless you're just always at your desk. It's fine for protecting pages though. But I made it into a post-it dashboard. And then I just have this cover in front because sometimes these pages here will flip up. So sometimes I just change it, turn it like this so they don't get bent, and you know, so anyway, that's why that's there. This is something that I added. So I had the Bible planner popped in here. It is always so messy. So I haven't really shown it a lot filled out on the channel, but this Nancy just got in yesterday. So hold on, let's talk about this. Bible planner is a classic dashboard. I was using up these stickers from my sticker book that have like the fox and like the mountains. Anyway, yeah, I don't love how this turned out at all. So it has creation and nature, and so I liked that for the Bible planner pages. But I also wanted to leave a lot of room. But this is what usually happens in my Bible planner. So I have a verse over here, which I usually did. A lot more room in the big planner, big happy planner, obviously, so I could also write a little thought. Now I'm writing my thoughts on the monthly, which is fine because now I have another monthly. What I used to do on this monthly in the Big Happy Planner is write the verses that I read, but now I wrapped it in the Nancy, so it's fine. But I do also have the verses up here for each weekly, but I like a monthly overview. So I do the verse on the day, and I redate it to Sunday. Every Happy Planner has to be redated and redated, but this is a 2023 anyway. I make a list of people, and sometimes there's a lot of people and sometimes there's not. This week there was a lot of people. So I put the number of the chapter by where the people are mentioned first. Same thing with places. There's a lot of places sometimes there's not a lot of places. So I probably need to kind of skim ahead and see if I need a bigger list, because this is what it looks like normally. I could make this whole thing people if I look ahead and recognize that there's a lot of people. And like when we get to the begots section of the Bible, I'm not gonna write all those names, obviously. And then if there's a lot of places, I can make this whole side places and main ideas down here. But what I can do sometimes is, if there's less people and less places, I like to do like a little timeline down here. And this is why after this week, kind of the first couple days, yeah, so yesterday is when, no, yesterday, yeah, Tuesday, is when I put the Nancy in. It's why I wanted to get the Nancy back in. I wanted room for the verses on the monthly, and I wanted room for a timeline. I sometimes have room for a timeline down here in the Big Happy Planner, but you know, sometimes it's like really small and messy. But I like to kind of do a timeline. It's like a visual thing for me. So this is a mess, and this is why it's not usually shared on the channel. But what we have is main verses here, and again, it usually looks like this, which I usually just put Saturday, Sunday, you know, I mean Sunday, Monday. I just reday this little area and put the verses. But I have this cute little box, and then write a verse, main thought if there's room. There's not right now in the classic, so I write the main thought over here. It's kind of like a just quick summary of what the passage is about, and you know, it can't really get to everything all the time, so it's even more concise than what it could be from the reading. And then like I like people over here, places over here, and like I said, sometimes they're gonna go down, and then main ideas. And I'm also like going really far down in the main ideas where this was gonna be the timeline. So this week especially is super messy. Now that I popped this in, I want to do like a timeline per week over here. So we're reading about Abraham and Lot and all, so you know, just like a little timeline of the happenings for the first week, and then week 2, and you know, just like this. So it looks like we'll have 4 weeks of Bible reading in November. So that's what I'm gonna do over here. I can show that when it's done, but I am thinking it could turn out a little sloppy, but I'll still show it, okay? I'll still show it. It's also why in the Bible planner I use a erasable pen, because you know, sometimes things move around. Yeah. Okay, so that's the Bible planner. I was using a classic dashboard. Now I wrapped it in the Nancy, and now I have all these Nancy weeklies. So let me tell you what I was thinking for this. I think I'm just gonna draw this in as an example to show you. I am doing a list in a notebook right now for my kids' homeschool. I took the Joe for a Family Command Center, and because they're doing a actual like tuitioned course as well, we're cutting back on some of the like subjects that I had for them. So what I did just for today and tomorrow is their Bible reading, which is this kind of stuff we do early before lunch. So Bible reading, their outside time. I don't have to write this down on the schedule. They know that they go outside, they get some exercise. What days they mow, they know that. And then this is like their online course lessons. They also know this, but again, it's in a notebook, and then the other stuff is in a notebook. So I just put like what we really do maybe before, definitely before dinner, but before lunchtime, like the first things we do for the day for school. And then depending on how long these take, we adjust for the other things, because they're at a point right now where if they're learning an actual skill, that some of the other stuff just seems a little bit like busy work as they're older. Anyway, so what we're doing, so this is what I'm thinking anyway. Whoops, I did it. So for this next week, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Just kind of a block system. Oh, and then over here can be a block too. Right now I have things to help me and things that they're gonna do, like mow or, did I put the dogs? So yesterday would have been the dogs, right? if there's anything else that they need to do or if they're gonna go somewhere. That's what I'm putting over here right now, but I think next week too, it could still just be boxed off and we can have like a little block layout here. I prefer a block layout for homeschool. It just, I mean, look how nice and neat it does. Just looks now that the lines are added. To have that kind of like blocked off, I like. And it's the same thing. This will be the whole section for their Bible. This will be the whole section for whatever this topic is going to be. Right now it's outside time. And this is their whole section for their online tuitioned course. And that will be for next week too. And then we'll see what we're gonna do over here. So this is what I was thinking for this, since I wanted to wrap it anyway, just to have a little more room. I could have popped a page in, but as I said, I really wanted to see the full month of reading together. And you can only do that in a Laurel Denise planner. Otherwise, you know, you can flip, but I really, even just for the Bible, missed having the monthly over there. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Timeline's over here. To do this month, not sure what I'm gonna do with that, but we'll see. Maybe it could just be like the full list from all the weeks of all the people. Probably just people or places. I don't think I would fit both in this month because there's just a lot. Or we could do people over here, places over here, places over here, people over here. Either way, there's a lot of space now. And I want that. I want a little more space for the dashboard layout. This was an addition. The Bible planner got put in early, but this Nancy wrap, I'm calling it the wrap, the Laurel Denise wrap around, these are essentially now inserts or a supplemental planner in here. That's new and I'm gonna be able to use it. I'm excited about how I'm gonna use it. Because I really, if you see my channel, I like everything together, including the boys stuff. I don't want it to take up like one of my planners because I will miss it, but if this is just gonna be sectioned off for them, and since we do read the Bible together, I think it's got it perfect. So I have that set up for November and December. And look at this cute planner I made. Like December, it's purple. Isn't it pretty? And the little floral and the polka dots. I know I love color in my planners. Well, maybe you don't know, but if you see my videos, I love color in my planners. Okay, so then everything else is the same. Oh no, it's not. Hold on. So this is a new thing that I thought of too. And I think we could just kind of set this up in this video. I was flipping back here for my time blocking. And again, this is today. But what I thought, what if I could have my time blocking in my week? Okay, so this is just for today or just for this week, this like exception. So I wrote Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just for this week. The time's on the right side. That's just for this week. Let's look at next week and we'll get this one set up because this is what we're actually gonna be doing. And I have all this on here. I think we'll just erase that. But we need Sunday, the 9th. So let's see if you can see this with me. Does anybody see? I don't know. If not, just enjoy the crazy ride. We have 3 days here and we have 3 days over here, right? So this is normally the second half of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're gonna make it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's gonna be popped on, and then for all of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I can see my time blocking right over here. Then we're gonna flip it over and we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And now it's gonna be time blocking for this side of the week. So it's like a little Dutch door time block insert that I'm super excited about. All right, and I think we just kind of decorate it because it's gonna be next week. I'm not super worried. You know what I think we'll just do is date it, not decorate it. Date, don't decorate. I see my, do I see anything? My Mojo Dojo plans dated. Ah, I see it. I see it. All right, let's get, oh, look at that sticker just came from nowhere. So we need Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we need Sunday. And I'm just gonna cover up these days here. Do I have my tweezers? Ugh. So, oh yeah, they're here, thank goodness. I'm like so annoying sometimes when everything's a mess because I've been doing so much, but I can't wait to get it all like just put back up. I've already started putting some of the Laurel Denise pages that are uncoiled back in the boxes to protect them. And Sunday's gonna be the 9th. Now the numbers are pretty big, so I think I wanna come back to these numbers back here, which is pretty small, but that's okay. We're gonna do the 9th here. I could also write this in, but you know, we're here together. Let's just do it. I'm gonna get all of the days on my hand, and then we'll get all the dates on my hand. So it's gonna be kind of a long video, I guess. Tuesday. So do you get the vision? And then this could still be like a to-do list for this week. One of the main complaints about Passionate Penny Pincher Planner, that's a tongue twister, is you don't have like a list to do this week, like just a separate thing. Like maybe you don't have a day assigned, and I think you could kind of block off, like line this off and make a to-do list over here. But now I'm gonna kind of insert one with an insert with an insert. I'm gonna try to cover this and see if it covers it. Cause that's kind of ugly writing. Yeah, Thursday is gonna be a little big, so we're gonna hang it into Wednesday just a tiny bit. And I will probably not sticker these every time. I'm just doing it this time, my first time. Oh, what happened Saturday? Oh, it's still on my finger. And then we have Saturday, yeah. And then we'll get all our dates. Life is funny, I gotta tell you. Is it 15? I think we're 15. Yeah, good. You know, like when you, it is very similar to like when you're crafting and you like make a sign or something and you like think, or you make a craft, you know, you're like, oh, it's so clever. That was so clever. And then, you know, people just think it's awful. It's life. That is life. I was feeling pretty clever. All right, yeah, this is looking good. And then we'll just write in the time. And I think I kind of want to write the time in pencil because I just don't want it bold. I'm thinking like, I want to be able to see it, right? So I do like some darkness, but lately the pens are just, I feel like they're too dark. So we're gonna do 8. I do giant numbers for 8 and 8:30 basically. Okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, so what I want to show you real quickly now, now that we did this, I mean, it's completely set up. I mean, it'll be decorated, right? And probably not on camera because these are just little guys. But you never know. Oh, so I'm going here. Okay, so let's just say I have a Nancy, but I want a timeline too. Guess what we can do, gals? You can pop her in to the Nancy if you have an extra Ann, or if you have the timeline inserts, pop her into the Nancy. Now the difference here is you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're gonna have to switch for, and that's why I have this one upside down. So I'll show you this one. This is what I would do if I was doing this in a Nancy. After Tuesday, I would grab this out put it upside down, and it's kind of like this one. It's not exactly, but you know, this one was upside down. And now you can see, and I would do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Does that make sense? Does anything make sense? So these wouldn't be like that, but they'd be, and then I could see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I would have one side, the first side, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. If you're Monday, you would have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, flip it over, and then have the top labeled differently. And then you could have like your little section down here. Now, before you say I'm crazy for that, Laurel Denise did recommend that to a gal this week. So I am not the only one who has thought of that. I think that was yesterday, actually. She was on a live, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yes. So, yeah. I'm sure it's okay when she thinks it, but she was obviously using her own planner and her own insert that she was going to flip upside down. So this one is flipped upside down as well, a little differently, and it's for this side of the page. Now for today, which is Wednesday, I still have to flip over here and see this, and that's fine. It's just, I do hate flipping. So it was fine, but I'm like, why am I flipping? So for next month, you're gonna see how I have it set up. I have this and this with the tracker. Those are the only ones that are here. I'm gonna white this out, and this could be extra notes. I don't know, it might not be a lot. It could be like journaling thoughts, or really it could be lists. I don't know. It could be something. But I do wanna use the trackers. So the reason I left these here is because they don't really work in between the pages. So then I just grabbed a bunch of Anne's, because Anne Weekly extra pages, because I have them. I took advantage of the clearance sale, and I just started popping them in between the pages. So these will all be changed to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It lines up. So when we actually set all that up completely next week, maybe it'll make a little more sense, but hopefully it makes sense. And I have a couple extra pages here in case I really mess anything up. And then also could be budget, keeping track of pages, but oh, that's what I could do. Ooh, girls, I just had the idea. I will put my grocery orders in here as budget pages. So I just don't need a lot of budget pages, so I don't have a budget, except for groceries. I do have to write down what I spend. So that's what I'll do for those pages. Okay. Sometimes being on camera with you guys just helps us planner gals work things out. I'm sure you've noticed that when we're kind of talking and we're like, oh yeah, we'll do that. And it's so funny because we can sit there and think about it for a long time and not figure it out. But once we come on here and like chat with you gals, it just starts to make sense. All right, well, makes sense. Okay, I'll say at least in my head. And we'll just put like a little washi down there to cover that up. Let's do some Brave and Fabulous. Brave, Beautiful, Fierce. Fabulous. Down there. All right, and then in this case, because it is upside down, my appointments will be down here, but normally they'll be at the top on both sides for this case. But again, if I did it in the Nancy, I would flip it upside down, just so that I could see the days like right next to it. You know, right next to it. All right, I couldn't sleep last night because I do really love decorating big happy planners. So what I decided to do, I mean, I'm sure you guys are just can't wait to hear it. I'm gonna put a planner together for every month, and I'm just gonna go in order, but it's gonna stay undated. I'm gonna put a planner together, decorate it for every month, and it's gonna stay undated. Why? It's gonna be like a sticker book. It's gonna be like an art time. This could be maybe where the stickers were thrown up on my page that she was talking about, but you know, it could be, especially these. But these, I just really wanted to over sticker to have less room to write. But yeah, whether it's thrown up stickers or not, it's just fun to decorate. It's also really good for the ASMR viewers, just how, you know, decorating and pulling things out are for them. So I am going to put together a November Franken planner of Happy Planner Big. I am not going to pretend that I'm going to fill it out. I didn't pretend in this. I tried, but it just was not my thing. I'm just gonna state right now that I'm not gonna fill it out right now. But if I ever want to jump back into it, it can be there. So, and that's gonna include all of this redating. When I'm redating it before I can use it, that's super annoying. But if I'm redating it and I know it's like redating, we'll say dating, updating. Oh, that got really dark, huh? I'm trying to adjust the lighting here. That sun was coming in at a weird angle. Anyway, if I'm gonna reday it in the video for Sunday start. That way, if there's a November where I just really miss Happy Planner, I will come back in and use it. I'm gonna do that for every month. Set one up for November, set one up for December, and I'm gonna decorate them. I have a lot of stickers. I like to decorate these big planners, and it's great for ASMR gals. I'm also gonna try out another mic during those videos. That might actually be a couple weeks. I probably shouldn't have said that yet. So, my son got this really great quality microphone that he's not using. So, I think he offered it to me. So we're gonna see, we're gonna try the sound quality on it and see how it is. Cause right now the mic is the camera, which it actually is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so I will be setting up, this is the 5th of November. Yeah, it doesn't matter now because I know I'm not gonna use it this month as a planner, but I'm gonna use it as, yeah, so we're here on the 5th of this month. But I'm gonna set up a November planner, like I said, no dates, white out the old dates. I will white all these out. I will put Sunday through Saturday, no numbers on top. And then, like I said, maybe next year in November, I really want to grab a Happy Planner. And I will grab it. Or it just might sit as a sticker book in my stash for a really long time. We'll see. Now, I came up with that idea because I don't want to get rid of my Happy Planners. I still like them, even if they don't work for me. And I've tried them several times and, you know, they don't work for me. It could be a season of this life. I don't really know. Oh, but actually, as you know, Happy Planner is working in this little spurt here, you know. So I'm still using Happy Planner. Happy Planner is in my 2026 lineup, but it's a wrapped planner. It's a Laurel Denise wrap planner. It's basically inserts inside a Laurel Denise planner. And I have mentioned this before, but if you like the uniform look of Laurel Denise and you don't want a Happy Planner hanging out here, though I think that's pretty cute, honestly. She has a lot of inserts that you can use instead. That you pop into the spiral or the coil, or the spiral. She does inserts for both, not on discs. So I think we can all agree that this planner is not most gals' dreams, but it is my dream right now, and I love it. So actually, after this video, I'm gonna start getting those pages together of what I want, and I'm gonna kind of mimic it after what I'm doing in my 2026 lineup. So that should be kind of fun. And then the last thing I want to show you, I did put the mini on discs. Don't cry, don't cry. It looks so cute. Oh my goodness, I think it's so cute. Look at this chunky mini on discs. It's so cute. I love the colors together. We can flip through it real quickly. This is the same thing you just saw in my main, the Bible, only it's an Anne here. So I could change this to Nancy. I don't know if I have another little Nancy. We'll see. But this is right now, could be the same kind of block thing. And I just do the subjects on the side. I don't know. I do like myself a Nancy. And then we have this teeny tiny dashboard. So for real, if I don't think I have room right now in my main, how would it fit in there? But look how cute that stinking planner is. Oh my goodness. You know, I love color. It's so cute. So this is for January 2026, possibly. But I did set up a full-size one too. And at this point, I'm just setting them up. And so they'll be ready also because we're moving. So these are going to stay out just in case we're still in the process. I really hope not by January. And then what's next? Okay, so that's Bible, which again was wrapped in a Nancy in my main, but it's wrapped in an Anne here. All of the minis are clearance 2025 planners, so they all have to be redated. Then we have the time blocking one, which this one's gonna be a little more complicated and I'll show you. If you notice here, I can always go back to a time blocking over here and have a cleaning list over here. Time blocking, cleaning list. I'd have to redate. So that is a possibility, but really, I guess I should just give you guys an alert. If you are not okay with planners being changed, do not continue to watch right now, because we're about to get into something that is probably going to freak you out. And or you can watch it and just leave your very sweet comments that have been being left. So you choose, but get ready, because I did give you the spoiler alert. So you can see this is the Passionate Penny Pincher Planner, the beige. Now, this doesn't make sense to you right now, but hold on, it will. It really will, yeah. So this, let me get this down. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like a little clipboard. I actually think it's super cute. I don't know if I'm gonna use this in January, but I almost want to, just to see how this works. And then when I need Wednesday, I flip it over and it's a little clipboard. And same thing for the next week. This is really outside the box, okay? So this is really, really crazy. I did both things. I cut the coil off and I punched the top. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and the clipboard. So for the time blocking, would not work as well with this to pop it in. I just thought of the time blocking 2 days ago, how to put it in between, but this was set up, I don't know, at least 3 days ago, I don't know. So if this was popped in here as a time block, it really wouldn't make sense. So I would either have to flip back, possibly punch it like that. Is that already making you guys crazy? Anyway, it's not as perfect as the main. So I've only set up January because I'm not really sure how this is gonna work or if I'm even gonna like it. So there is that. So that's my time blocking and my cleaning planner. And again, if this isn't working for me, this little clipboard style of cleaning planner, which honestly, I mean, it's kind of fun. It's like, what are those steno pads, you know, for your planner? Anyway, if it doesn't work for me, and I still wanted to use the mini, I would just go back to the list planner, which is what I had in October, which is an Anne, where I just write a list of what I want to clean. Okay, and then you flip through that planner. You guys can look again if you were covering your eyes. You can look again. And then I just have some budget sheets back here. Okay, so then the next planner in here, mimics my planner now. Work with a Nancy. Again, it has to be redated. And I have the right side monthly. Not set up, but just kind of started. Project planner. This is different than my main. This is the only planner I don't have to redate. It's the one I got in 2026, the rose. I don't have inserts for it, so I just did this little dashboard again. And then, what do we have next? Oh, goals planner. I chose a Nancy for that. Marriage planner. That sounds interesting. This is just like a little section to focus a little more on my marriage. What I want to do today, what my focus is, and then a to-do list. This used to be, I don't know if it was a wellness planner, but anyway, I don't know what it was. 2020 planner. These are all redating. And then I have my journal wrap planner, which I have 2 sections here, and then this one that's concealed is going to be like my personal, really personal thoughts. These are going to be kind of like what happened for the day, how my kids are doing, and then the really personal thoughts in there. So set up for January. It is definitely not perfect. Again, it's probably, some may consider it butchered, but I think it's pretty cute. I know this hangs out, but you know when gals have those big folios, there's like stuff hanging out everywhere. I mean, how fun is that? It's like a well-loved and everything's in their planner. And that's kind of what I was thinking when I did this one. where like stuff is just sticking out. There's paper clips, there's Post-its, there's a bunch of stuff in here. It's like your binder to your life. That's kind of what this reminds me of as well. Now, the only thing I'm going to mention real quickly, I had to punch through the first box. I could have done the bottom box. You have to punch through a box. And so it takes a little bit of lining up. It's not the natural lines of the punch. You can't just put it in like 7. It's going to make a bigger hole and you're not going to be able to use any of them. So you have to pick one of your squares and punch through it every time. It'll line up to the second square, line up to the next. It skips one every time and then lines up with the next one. So you either can start at the top or you can start at the bottom, and now everything's kind of hanging off the bottom a little. You could have everything hanging off the top a little, and it would be like this. That's upside down, but you know. So you choose what you want. I did the top kind of in a hurry. I do kind of wish I had done it, on the bottom. I kind of wish I had done it hanging off the top like this, but everything's hanging out the bottom. That's for January, and like seriously, so cute. I think it's cute. I know you gals might be horrified. And we will do something with the cover because as a planner gal, I'm always putting lotion on my hands before we start our videos, and it just shows really well on this. So we'll sticker it or wrap it or something, but it's already, these discs, so cute. So I almost want to put something on here that's not going to completely cover it up because of how the green looks with the blue, but we'll see. So setup, possibly slightly different than my big one for January. I definitely think this video has been so long, and I had to go edit it and start my November setup of my Happy Planner. So I know, why are you going to set up a Happy Planner if you're not going to use it? Why are you going to waste your time? Why are you going to waste your stickers? This planner, when it's set up, is going to be for my ASMR viewers, for ideas. I'm not saying you need to take ideas from me, because we have people like Planning with Bumble who does Epic Vertical, and it's just gorgeous every time. So you can watch her videos for that, for sticker placement and all that, but these will be on there anyway. So watch them or don't watch them. They will be on there for ASMR, and then again to have a planner set up. Just one big Franken planner for every month in the future. That's eventually we'll swing around to January and we'll set one up. We'll set one up for February. We'll set one up, you know, and I think it's gonna be kind of fun. A lot of it's for the ASMR content, and also just because they're fun to decorate. It's for my creative art content. I used to do crafting and paint and glue things on and sticker and bejewel things, and it just wasn't my thing. I tried it for over 2 years. The supplies wise and stuff, it's more compact to do stickers on a planner than to have like paint everywhere and this drying over there and Mod Podge over there and like all the toxic smells and all the bins of stuff. And you know, you guys have seen a craft room. Craft gals keep a lot of stuff. My husband got just totally sick of it, so he can put up with some planners and some bins and some stickers and some bins, and that's my new relaxing art, and I do like it. Even, you know, even in the crafting world, I made some really cute things, but I definitely wasn't an expert, and not everything was knocked out of the park. So I'm totally fine with that, because that's just realistic for me anyway. Maybe some gals have like a really great artistic creative talent, and that's great for them. But for me, I'm like, if it's cute enough, I'm like, okay, yeah. And it gives me my creative time. So that is, I'm realize I'm talking without flipping, which is just a waste. It's a waste. Might as well flip. So let's get flipping. So that's what's coming up on the channel, and I will also still be doing my office tour as soon as I get it a little more together. I am gonna clean up for you gals a little, you know, like as if you were having a guest in your home, you would clean up a little. I'm gonna have you gals as a guest in my office before I tear it apart and make it into a dining room again. And that's it. That is it for this really long, chatty, heavy video. Okay, so the last little clip of this planner chat, I did grab all my fall sticker books together, along with there's some fall stickers in here in this redating book, and I'm gonna set these aside on my desk so that when I go to decorate for the rest of November. I have those there and I don't forget to use them. That's what I want to do, is not forget to use them. And then here is my, okay, November Franken planner for Happy Planner. And I'm not using this month. I'm not going to jump into it. Well, as far as I know right now, there are no absolutes. But I did set it up in a previous video, so we'll flip through it real quickly. But that setup is going to be, it's a lot of pulling out pages, and I have to punch the hemlock and oak and just kind of deciding. So we're going to flip through this just to see what I set up, so that you know I'm still having one of these set up, and I am going to decorate it because I do like to decorate these big Happy Planners. They just have so much space and they're super cute. The one thing that I'm not going to do is I did read day just to show myself so I don't forget, but I'm not going to date it until, I mean, like I might use this next year for November. I might jump in here one week this month. I don't know, probably not, but I wanted to still have these pages together. I wanted this Franken planner together. This Franken planner mimics pretty closely my 2026 lineup, but just not with Happy Planner Big. So I just kind of wanted to get it together for that, and then maybe next November I jump into this. We'll see, because I'll still have the World Denise planners by then, but who knows if, you know, I'll buy more for the new season or anything like that. But let's flip through this and we'll kind of talk about it. This first divider might be a little confusing. The animal print on the inside of this cover, I did not like it, and I know it still shows, so like I could put a strip of white paper, but this alone makes it a lot better. It kind of looks like a Laurel Denise pocket interior where you have two patterns. I'll show you that in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. See how you, I mean, I know all my stuff is in the way, but you know, this like striped pattern and this other pattern that don't really, these are the same color, but sometimes they have completely different colors, which is really fun. So I know, like, I don't have the eye of the Laurel Denise designers, but it looks pretty with florals. And this is a Creative Ingrid, one of my favorite Happy Planner designers. Like they're what are they called? Collabs, I guess. So I like it well enough. So I did that to the outside cover, both sides. I had two of those, and it just kind of, you know, it's the blue down here and then it's the blue up there, so I like it. I think it's pretty, and then I like the outside cover. I did change to blue discs. I originally had these on metal discs, but I like these blue plastic discs. For my first planner in here, I changed this divider to this beautiful, like, this is my favorite of all time dividers. It's just such a cozy scene. You have like a really cute throw, some cocoa with marshmallows, some leaves on a tray, and a wood, like barn wood in the background, along with the book and this Grateful, Thankful, and Blessed on top of it. So I thought that was really beautiful, so I made that the tab before, and actually we can show it before because I only glued the tabs together. It looked like this. The world needs more you in it, and it just does not scream November at all to me. So, and it's fine because, you know, I'm sure you girls are the same way, a lot of you anyway, that we don't really look at our dividers after, you know, we might flip over to here, and sometimes even that's a problem, like especially for me to flip to the monthly. But that's why the Laurel Denise is my planner right now. But this big dashboard has been really fun to decorate, and this has like just really subtle colors. I mean, look at those very sketched florals and just the light shading. So it's very subtle. I usually think this is a little too subtle, but I did choose it for this planner, and we will be decorating like a week or two in here soon, within the next couple days. So big Happy Planner dashboard will be decorated on the channel right now. This is a different setup that it's a Happy Planner monthly. It's an old one, obviously. I did change out this divider, and I left the little tab here, but it says be grateful for small things, big things, and everything in between, and Mandy Hale, which I don't know who that is. Sometimes I don't leave quotes if I don't know who it is, but I'm gonna leave it. It's pretty. It's got like that fall, very pretty fall vibe with that rose gold foil, and it doesn't match the inside of the planner. That's fine to me. And then this really cute, like, I love the writing on this planner, and I like the like paint splotch geode look. It's just really fun and pretty. So that I will be whiting out these dates probably on camera and maybe decorating this spread, but not redating it because like I said, I don't know when I'm going to be using this. Now here, all we have is this November. We didn't even have the monthly, so you really don't have to change everything here. It just needs to be redated. But this is what I did in the weekly, and I had to grab an extra page, and this is not how it's going to look. It was just an example to myself. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I made it into a horizontal. And I like the 2-column horizontal. I know a lot of gals like that full horizontal, but I'm doing this kind of like as the main planner, and I'm trying to mimic somewhat, and I'll show you this more, the Passionate Penny Pincher planner, although now I'm considering actually, we'll see, the decision's not final, but I was thinking of sending off and getting this printed. Like, there's a YouTuber, Kristen Kramer, who has printed the Passionate Penny Pincher planner with color, because I don't have a color printer, in 8.5 by 11. And I could do that for all of next year in 8.5 by 11 and then put it in my Happy Planner Franken planner. The only reason I'm thinking maybe not doing that is because I'm not sure when I'm going to use it. But anyway, so the horizontal layout, did I show that? The horizontal layout of the Passion Penny Pincher planner, it's a tongue tie, is like the 2 sections here, and I like that. So that's what I was kind of thinking here, only also a little interested in choosing my own topics, because Passionate Penny Pincher, I'm in there for, hasn't even been a full week. Not all the morning, I would say 1. I don't wipe out the bathroom sinks every morning, so that's one thing. I actually don't exercise every morning. I should, but I hope to. That's why I'm really using the Passionate Penny Pincher planner. I'm hoping it'll just seeing it every day will make me start to do it. So anyway, to have like a list of things to do or read, and like she has like a meal plan over here and a gratefulness and a spending over here, I like that. And then to have this section for like a to-do or some version of that. Now the other thing that I mimicked is, you might have seen I had that time blocking in the middle of my Passionate Penny Pincher planner. I grabbed this from a Happy Planner. I mean, like, it's so pretty, right? From a Happy Planner hourly, I think it's from maybe 2020, maybe 2019, classic, and I put it in here. So I tried it with a big, and the big just covered this whole side, and I didn't want that. I like seeing this a little on the bottom, and this kind of mimics, I know it's like, it's kind of rude to copy, but I'm doing it a little differently. But it kind of mimics like this part. Of the Passionate Penny Pincher, but I just made my own list. I wanted to make it colorful still, so I used some highlighters. It doesn't look great, but basically I still did a Sunday start, which I like. I have like wipe counters, dishes all day, meaning I like to load the dishwasher throughout the day. I don't like to, but if I leave it all for the end of the night, it's really frustrating for me. And then this is morning and this is evening sweep floors. And I haven't finished this list. I don't plan on finishing it right now, but I will put some thought into it and get it finished for at least the weeks that I decorate. And I'm writing in pencil in case when I do come to use this, I want to change the lists out. But I like to just be able to see that down there. And hopefully, again, like these would have checks. And this would be my time blocking timeline with appointments or whatever here. This list, when I look at it, it's just going to be in the Passionate Penny Pincher right now. The list that's on the side, it really is like a to-do list. It's not like a focus on appointments list. It could be, but I still like having this section where I'm focusing on if I have to go somewhere during the day or appointments or my top priorities. So I just put it in the middle there. And we have that for every week. None of it is decorated yet. And then for this last week, this is going to be much easier to do this, like, it's a grid down here, so it's going to be easier to do this. And the last week we just have note pages, which I will have to count the lines and divide. And so we'll be setting that up on the channel and decorating a couple of the weeks, probably per section. But not all 6 planners every week, but 2 of these big planners. This is the plan every week. So this is the Hemlock and Oak principle, and I did the undated. And that was a little easier. They still had a Monday start here, so I just, you know, wrote it in. And I do plan to put stickers there when I come to decorate it. So I can have this decorated without any dates. I'm kind of liking this grid. It's, for one, when you print it out, it's a lot clearer than what it looks in the printer view version. I thought it was just going to be no lines and just blocks, like just a sheet of grid. But it's really easy to just put the date in the corner in that like first grid box. So I'm excited about that. But I will want to make that look cute. I just wrote November in here, but I'm going to put a nice sticker there too when I come to decorate. And I'm not going to date it though right away because I don't know what year I'm going to be using it. And then here's the weekly. I redid a Sunday to Monday, but that's all I had to do. I don't have to redo these dates. I don't have to redo a number here. So I can just come in and add like a cute little abbreviated day and a cute little number. And I think that will be nice when I come in to decorate this. I probably will draw the columns across like I have been doing just to have it set up, and then draw the lines down for sure to have it set up for five to six categories. Right now I have 5, but who knows for when I go to use this. And I know this is kind of a crazy idea to have like just a November planner that I don't know if I'm going to jump into or when I'm going to jump into. I feel like it's kind of like having an undated November Franken planner. It is actually an undated November Franken planner. So I think it's kind of fun. I don't think I'm going to get sick of the Laurel Denise at all. In fact, this was frustrating me more to use just because of the flipping back to the monthly was making me crazy. Oh, by the way, I did, oh my goodness, I didn't even talk about this divider. This divider is so cute. It's from a teacher book, and it says, all secrets of the world are contained in books. And that's Lemony Snicket. I do know who that is. And then we have this adorable book stack here, or journal and books. They're like aged on the side, and then the reading glasses. And just a really cute background, like a confetti cardstock, and then the gold accents. So I thought that was super cute for work, or just in general. But that is the November tab for that I tape run onto the monthly. So yeah, I just don't go back to the monthly enough to really want to go into this full time, but I still want to decorate it. I'm going to use it as my creative time. And then I like the idea of having, like I said, an undated November planner set up. For this one too, you're going to recognize this one. This is a seasonal one from Happy Planner, the big vertical, and I'm going to cover the numbers up here. Pretty much, I mean, I might white out these numbers down here, but pretty much those dates are going to stay on there. And then we have this cute divider. It's not my favorite, honestly, because it's kind of like cartoony, but it's still cute enough. So I didn't change it, but like, oh, the monthly is so beautiful. These colors, like this dark blue with this teal, pop it in with the red and the brown for the boots. I mean, the decorations are so cute. And I love this over here. What I did last month in October when I was trying to use this planner is I left this 2018 and I just put the 2025 here. So whatever month I come in to use this, I will do the same thing. And I will white these out, decorate a little, and then not redate. Now this is the saddest part, but I think I'm gonna leave these dates up here until I don't know what next year looks like for 2026. So I might leave these dates up here and then only white them out and cover them when I come to use it. But I will reday, so it's gonna be Sunday start to Saturday, and we'll put a box over here because that is probably not gonna work out. Although, I'll see what 2026 looks like. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll do a little research, but look how pretty this design is with the pies and the apples on the bottom. And I have been wanting to do an apple pie spread, and I think I have all the stickers kind of like gathered together. So I think that would be a perfect for one of these first spreads. Now this is for the wellness planner, if I ever come back into this planner. I do have this check it off for that stuck in here. And what I wanted to do, because the wellness planner was way too big in the big for me, I just wasn't writing enough. I wanted to add goals in here because in 2026 I did choose a goal planner. It's not a specific goal planner, it's just a planner that I'm using for goals. And so I thought I could use this middle section for goals, and I want to include things, because everything does kind of have to do with wellness. I wanted to include things like work goals, maybe family goals, things like that in here too. And then I could have I think that would really help with just how much space I had. Let me see if I can grab it. So in October, you may have seen this, even when I decorated like crazy, I still had, you know, a lot of room for the day. So I think adding like a goals section to this, to the center, will be helpful. So I decorated this a lot because I was trying to take up space so that it didn't look so empty. And I'll show you the first week. This is like what I wrote. And the first, I mean, don't look at these 2 days because I didn't do that, but these have like so much white space. So that's why I decorated a lot more, But now I think if I keep this whole thing as goals, I'll have, now look at that. So let's act like that happened here. Yeah, so if you have a whole section for goals, you just bump up the coffee and the bedtime up there, and there's room. And now you're actually using the planner, which is what was bothering me, is just having so much empty space. So that's the idea here, and I think I'm actually gonna put a note on here so I don't forget what I was gonna do with it when I actually come to use it. And I'm gonna say goals, all types, in center. So then each of these would kind of be like categories, right? So this could be like tracking probably. I'll put that down too. Tracking. And then I do track steps, coffee, bedtime. So maybe that could be all up there, and then maybe food down here. And then I was doing on the monthly if I worked out. So I would have to make the effort to flip back to the monthly, but it's so cute. If I worked out, what I did, and then if I did self-care, what I did. So that's the idea for this. For decorating right now, it's just gonna be fun to decorate. So it's here. I probably am not gonna jump into it to use, but I like having it, and I like these pages. So this is also a way to not have to get rid of all these pages. So this is an August divider. Because I'm not worried about dates, I'm still acting like it's in November, you know, undated. It's an August divider, but I thought it was pretty. And I thought these colors matched more than the peachy that was in November. You know how Happy Planner was really going like between this peachy type color and then whatever one other color. So this is like the green over here. That's December, so. This one has the green and the peachy, and then this one had the blue and the peachy. The setup video, you'll be able to see that coloring, and it's fine, but the whole like kind of coloring of this planner is like this greenish blue. In here it's like, you know, greenish blue, and the first one is blue, kind of a greenish blue. So I really wanted to kind of match the tone of the Franken planner, and since it's going to be kind of like undated anyway, it didn't matter that it said August. So this is a monthly, and this is the project planner, and essentially every column is probably going to be one project is the idea, you know. That's the idea. We'll see. And then the last planner in here is the horizontal, and I use this as a journaling planner when I use it. So I have it in here for journaling, and I also like to decorate the horizontal. So like I said, we'll be jumping in and decorating here and there these planners. So if I would just want to jump into it for a week, I will, like just like an undated. Now, just to be honest, I don't really see myself jumping back into this at all. Definitely not this year. And I'm not saying ever, but I still think it's a fun idea, and what I like is being able to decorate these planners. I'm kind of looking at like, if I was an artist, which I'm not, it'd be like my painting. So when I do these spreads, I'm gonna be able to relax more because it's not for a certain week. Where what I was doing before is I had to get it decorated before I could write in it. And so there's like that kind of pressure. This is like, you know what, I feel like decorating. Here I'm gonna come in here and decorate. Ultimately in the end, it's gonna be like a whole November of decorated pages is the idea. And it may not get decorated all this month. You know, we're already like a few days into November. What are we at, the 6th? The the 6th right now. So it may not get all decorated, but it's gonna be fun while I'm working on it to have this like creative outlet that I can come to, but it's not the pressure that I have to get it done. And speaking of having to get it done, as soon as I'm done with this video, I am going to have to start filming my week 2 of my chunky girl Franken planner, which, how long have I been in this now? 2 weeks now. And so I'm going to come in here and take out, like, this is a classic happy planner. I have the Passionate Penny Pincher planner in here with a really fun, which, you know, you just saw in the big happy planner, Franken planner, really fun time blocking insert in here that I'm going to, you know, make it look similar to the weekly. So all of the second weeks, you know, need decorated. And that's what I'm talking about. That pressure is not there in the big happy planner Franken planner because I don't have to use it. I'm just decorating it for fun. But I also like, it's a fun thing to put together a happy planner Franken planner. It's just fun. So I'm going to keep that on the channel. I know a lot of gals like watching Franken planner videos to kind of see like what people are using or would use. Just up front, I'm going to let you know I'm not going to be using it this month or this November probably at all, but I like having it to decorate. And then we'll set up one for December, January, etc. Now, another thing is it's kind of like a cheating way to get to keep some of my planners because, oh, I'm going to need them for my Franken planning decorating planner, monthly planners. So maybe that's part of it, but I will have to get rid of quite a bit of my planners. And as I said, that will be in a future video. Probably not the full purging will be on here, but maybe like a quick look at like what I got rid of and what I kept and why. So all of these planners in here right now are safe. And then we might have a couple others, same layout, safe, and then who knows. I think I'm going to tell you the one I'm having the hardest problem with is the student planner, like to get rid of or not, because they don't make them in the color block layout anymore. And they're super colorful and cute. Like, do I have to at least keep a couple, right? I have several. I think I have 6 maybe. So anyway, that's a different video. I don't know if I ended this video, so I'm going to end it again right now. And if I already have an ending, I'll just put that in there. But that is it for the planner chat. There's nothing else I really would want to show you before Sunday. You know, sometimes there's some last minute stuff like changes, but I think I pretty much went through everything that I'm using and doing. So, oh, well, I guess that I say, and then I realized I have some things written in. Not in the Bible. I did write a couple things in here for my back pages for November. I decided to make this column Thanksgiving dinner because, you know, that does take a lot of planning. I have desserts down here, dinner up here. New recipes that I want to try for this month. We are trying to move, so we got to use the stuff that I have on hand. I want to get rid of the food that I have here, and so I put some recipes down here that I think will help do that. I do have like flour and stuff. And then this is just like things that I want to have done this month. And it kind of is stuff that would be in the project planner, but it's here in a list. In the project planner, you kind of have to go through each room and see what needs to be done. So here it's like just a list all together, even though it may not be in the right room. So, okay, I thought that was a decent use of those pages. And then we did start filling out stats for the channels here. And that's what I intended to use it for. Okay, so that is it. Now that is really it. Okay, now let's try this again. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.